to see how things are going. I really should take some time to edit the fucking start of these streams, but I never do. Oh, woe is me, woe is me, woe is me. Now, for those of you that were not here when we last played Werewolf the Apocalypse, Heart of the Forest, and for those that follow this series on Twitch, it's been a while since I last checked this game out. We basically did almost all of the mid part. We have been accepted into the ranks of the Garu. We have been presented with different choices in terms of where we go next, whether it is which clan we select, or kind of some of the moral choices and dilemmas that are associated with each of those clans and their respective viewpoints. We've gotten the basic idea of aggressive versus passive or peaceful. We discovered a lot about our past. We are the evil Viking werewolves in terms of our progeny, which does not excite the people who are a part of this werewolf cult that we found at this ancient forest in Poland, which there's still eco-terrorists protecting this forest, but who cares about that? Less questions, more weird and wacky stuff. But more importantly, when we last checked this game out, we saw the progress meter and discovered that we are indeed 75% done with our first playthrough of this game. I say first in part because I have not entirely ruled out playing this a second time. I'm just, ooh boy, you really are gonna have to convince me to get through that really slow intro that doesn't actually have any impact on this mid-game. Which is a rough proposition, if I do say so myself. Let me go ahead and change the audio balance just a little bit in my favor, not the game's favor. And let's go ahead and jump into it. I'm going to be perfectly honest, I've completely forgotten which chapter we were last on. Chapter 5. I believe there are 7 chapters, but I think we're good. So, again, the first episode of this series was a bit of a bummer. It's a lore dump and kind of introducing the character stuff and some introductions of a handful of characters. I feel like I've said characters 100 times already. And then also kind of like the recurring mystery with this game. The only thing I would say that I really hate about that intro is the fact that it's goddamn boring as you know what. And again, when you stop and think about where this story has gone, all of those characters they belabored and hammered home and spent a lot of time talking about kind of didn't matter. So that's a bit of a bummer. Sorry. Oh, boy. I'm drinking tea. And that went down the wrong pipe. So for those that don't know, when we do visual novel... I'm supposed to do visual novel Thursday, but I really fucked up this time. Sorry about that. Let's go ahead and read this. Loose ends. I read with you guys as we go through this journey. If you have any questions about these bars right here, this is the second episode, so I'm going to spend a little less time kind of talking about this. Oh, boy. Man. They sure do spend all this time about your initial starting stats and then completely trash that when you turn into a Garu. I woke up in my bed in the B&B and for a moment thought the whole werewolf business had been a dream. Then I looked at Anya's empty bed, exactly how she left it the morning we went to see the protest. She was dead. No choices to make there, so we'll just click and move on. The reality of the situation hit me. Anya was dead. I killed her. I had to clean up my mess. So if the choice is between gaining a stat and losing a stat, I will happily click this. Looking over my shoulder, I packed her things. I still don't want to spend any skill check points here, so I'm gonna just click the not so controversial safe choice. I ran the plan over in my head again. I had to check us both out. Then Pat had promised to take care of the rest. She said she'd use her favors with some network spirits and hack Anya's phone. It would log into some towers in Germany and the Netherlands, ping the social networks a few times, and before anyone noticed anything was amiss, there would be nothing to tie the disappearance to us. Again, I don't feel like we've reached a situation that requires us to use a skill point. So I'm gonna go with this. My hands were trembling. Who had I become? My hands were trembling. I was sweating bullets. Ah, shit. So I didn't use a skill check, and now I'm gonna lose a health point. Fuck. I punched the door and my head went straight through the wood. Splinters digging deep into my flesh. And then I lost it. Oh, shit. Oh. Oh, fuck. Oh. Well. I done goofed that up. I was saying, I don't think I need to use a skill check. I don't think I need to use a skill point. Then I raged into being a fucking werewolf. Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. Okay, boy, this is gonna be a bad time for everyone involved. Okay, let's think this through. This game auto-saves and forces you to live with your choices, as good or bad as they may be. Boy, this is some bullshit. Pain hits me like a wrecking ball. Every bone in my body breaks and moves and resets. I roar in agony. Panting and growling, I rise. And rise. And rise. I'm an 8-foot-tall killing machine. I am sad and hurt, and my friend is dead. I wail, overcome with guilt, and the window panes shattered. The shards of glass glimmer in the sun. I smash the room to pieces. Please tell me this is a dream sequence. One flick of my wrist and the wardrobe turns into a cloud of splintered wood. Oh, this is really bad. I lift the bed and smash it against the floor. Oh, this is really, really bad. We done goofed. This is really, really bad. We really fucked this up. Or I really fucked this up. I am the one. I am the monster. Okay, I wrecked the room. Fuck. I punch holes in the walls, I smash the windows, I tear Anya's things to pieces. Stop it, someone shouts through the door. I'm calling the police. Shit. I don't know what I want to do here. Congratulations, game. You literally have presented me with a situation that I don't know the answer, that I don't know what I want. I don't know what I want here. I was stepping back, thinking that maybe if I leaned back from the microphone, which is very unprofessional to do. Oh, man. I genuinely don't know what the fuck I want. No clue. Because if I smash the door, then it's like, we fucked up. People know about werewolves. This is like a huge violation of the rules. If I change back, I'm gonna get caught. And we were already spending so much of our rage on this sequence. Oh, jeez. Let's get closer. Boy. Smash the door? I think I want to smash the door. I think I want to smash the door. I smashed the door. I slam my body against the door, fling them down the corridor, and the shouting stops. I change back. Listening to the shouts and distant sirens, I quickly pack what remained of my things. What was I thinking? I asked my reflection in a shard of broken mirror. I didn't know how to answer. I shrugged. Whatever the answer was, it was now Maya the werewolf's problem. Maya the student was dead. I took my bag and left. All right. Well. Okay. Okay. Well, that's... Boy, I mean... Yeah, okay, human me is dead. All hail werewolf me. That sure was a sequence. Holy shit, that was... That was intense. We're a Galliard, which means we're a bard. A werewolf bard. We sing songs. I want to do more bard stuff. Yeah, let's do more bard stuff. I don't want to do stuff with rare beetles or learn about war or fucking learn more about my past as, like, werewolf Vikings. I want to do some bard werewolf shit. Let's go to Galliard, or go to Galliard school, bard school. Yeah, let's go. Oh, boy. We needed something to boost morale and bring us some good PR, and my idea of live streaming a day in the Puska was met with enthusiasm. I planned the whole thing with Daniel. That seems like he's a fellow bard dude, bard werewolf thing. Daniel suggested that an old werewolf den would be a good place to visit on the live stream. Our patron was born there. I could tell that story, he said, smiling. I don't stutter when I tell stories, you know? And we'll both be more convincing in a place we're connected to. As someone with a genuine speech impediment, I want people to know that I feel okay with reenacting stutters and other characters that are represented with speech impediments, I would just say if you don't have a speech impediment, be very careful about how you manifest it. But me personally, like I've lived with a speech impediment my entire life. If you listen to our podcast, you will be able to tell that I have a speech impediment. Random pauses, the pausing is the part that kills me. But yeah, always be careful when you're trying to manifest stuttering. We needed authentic human emotions, so we asked some of the activists to join us on the trail. Haha, we got willpower. That's not what I need right now, but I'll take it. Planning it all took a few days, but finally we were ready. We gathered the crew and set off well before the sunrise. Okay. Can I just point out, you're live streaming... You just fucked up a B&B and are wanted by the cops. I'm just gonna put it out there. You don't want to be live streaming anything. You probably want to lay low for a little bit. You know, don't do anything that would bring attention to you. The fuzz are looking for you. You're America's Most Wanted, but we're in Poland. The keyword, we are in Poland. Okay, we started the live stream. This seems like an awful idea. Before we set off, Pat gave me, as she called it, a spirit-enhanced router. I turned it on, and we live streamed our adventures. The Puska still didn't trust me, and I could feel it. We met a lot of birds on our way, all of them watching me carefully. I almost saw eyes in the tree trunks as I passed by. You notice how, like, the wolves are gone. I don't want to spend any more rage. There was something else. I really don't want to spend my last point of rage. I think I'd die? As we got closer, I kept looking over my shoulder. Something was wrong. Since the change, I'd been able to feel the spirits, like faint voices somewhere in the back of my head. White noise, but now they were quiet, waiting. Wolves? I realized it. I could hear their steps, their paws gently treading between old leaves and fallen branches. I briefly wondered, what were they doing so close to humans? The wolves usually kept to themselves, but there was more. But there was something more in the air, a tone in their breathing and their smell, something old and angry and grieving and familiar. Then I saw her, the wolf mother. A pack of wolves followed her, spirit-ridden, their eyes smoldering. "Stay as you are, cub," she said gently. "You swore to me. Let me have my revenge." I felt my blood become hot, my body shift. Shit. Shit. I think the game really does want us to shift, so I'm gonna change... Oh, God. See, this is actually my least favorite part of this game, which is you need to pick the correct one of these. It's not Glabro. We were just at Krenos, so that's usually... You're never the same form twice in a row. So it's either Lupus or Hispo. I don't know which of these two we want to be. I don't know which one of these I'm... Oh, boy. This is hard. Some of these choices are genuinely hard. So I think that if we just take the Lupus form, that's not going to be enough. We have to, like, scare the Wolf Mother, or are we, like, trying to help the Wolf Mother? Because if we're trying to help the Wolf Mother, then wouldn't we become the same as the Wolf Mother? But then also, if we're trying to fight the Wolf Mother, wouldn't we become a Hispo? Yikes. This is a big yikes. I don't know what I'm doing. Oops. Alright, so I think I want to be a Hispo. Because I want to get, like, an advantage over this Wolf Mother thing. Yeah, let's be a Hispo. Alright, I was Hispo, the monstrous wolf form. My spine cracked and twisted, my knees and ankles broke, and I fell on the ground, my jaw shattered and rearranged. My skin was rippling and sprouting fur. I howled. When I rose, I was more than a wolf. Scary and monstrous, with strong paws, mighty jaws, and a mane of fur. The forest was small, and I felt it was mine as I ran toward the pack. The wolves were single-mindedly focused on their prey. But then, when I landed right in their path, they had to react. They shuddered to a halt. I growled. I don't fight my fellow kind, my werewolf kind. I growled. I don't want them... Get out of my... Get off of my lawn, you damn kids. Grrr, I'm a Hispo, bitch. It's starting to make sense why furries really like this game. I bared my fangs and growled. Their leader took a step toward me. Sure, let's use a willpower point. That's the one we have all of. I growled again. I growled again, lowering my head, giving her the last warning, getting ready to jump. We stood there for a moment in a clutch, and then the pack turned and left. The stream was a success. The internet was on fire. In Puska Bielowicka suddenly became a trending topic. I was slightly envious of Daniel's fame. I was kind of envious of Daniel's fame and the influence his story was having on people. I knew my work was important. I knew that if it hadn't been for me, the stream would have ended in tragedy. But damn, I wanted that. I wanted to tell people stories that would move them that much. Still, I got what I wanted. I don't want willpower. I want rage. God damn it. Good job, Cornell said when we met that evening, and a great job it was. Yeah, let's not talk about me fucking up that B&B and being wanted by the cops. That's totally something that did not happen. I resist arrest. I'm a sovereign citizen. I don't believe in them governments. I couldn't wait for the Sept meeting that morning. The streaming was my rite of passage, and I knew that I did great. I couldn't believe that I made it so far. We met soon after the sunrise. We met soon after the sunrise on the same clearing, where I woke up for the first time as a Garou. Lisa looked at us all and smiled. Our patrons were looking at her expectantly, so she stepped towards the center of the clearing. I am the Theurge, Thurge of this sept, and I'm here to make sure we do things the right way. I held my breath. They're going to talk about me fucking up that B&B. She turned to me, and I held my breath. Maya, come forward. Are you a cub who seeks recognition as an adult? Sure. Yes. Yeah, sure, I answer. I don't see why not. I am, I answered solemnly. Are you an applicant to a tribe? Lisa asked again. Yes? I am, I answered. Who speaks for the cub? Lisa looked at her sept mates. I do, Daniel stepped forward. I am Phasegade of the Red Talons, Galliard of the Morning Wolf Pack, Wolf Mother Pack. I observed the cub on her mission, and I am here to tell the story. Secret names, cool. Fargaze? Cool. Really? Okay. I'm with the protagonist here. It's like, oh shit, you guys got names. Did they all have secret werewolf names? I shook my head, thinking that the whole thing had strong cult vibes. Has the cub passed her challenge? Asked Lisa. Of course I did. I fucking nailed that shit. I feel like a little confidence will go a long ways here. I grinned because I knew I'd pass. She succeeded. She fought bravely against overwhelming odds, and she succeeded. Yeah, bitch. Have you chosen your name? Lisa turned to me. My new secret name. Suddenly, I remembered my grandfather talking about his old friends. He never used their real names. They were always Thunder or Gray or Needle. I'd always thought it was a guerrilla thing, some kind of war names. Now, I wasn't so sure anymore. How to capture my whole life, my aspirations, my personality, my heritage in one name? Ooh, I'm a fucking bard, so wouldn't I do song? Song, right? Song. Sing a song. I don't want to play this game anymore, 'cause I'm not very entertained. And that's true. I boy. Man, this has been a bummer in comparison to those Vampire the Masquerade visual novels, which are actually willing to, like, take some risks in how they adapt the board game. Have a lot more fully fleshed characters whose relationships you actually have to put some effort into earning and getting on your side. Okay. My new name is Pienz, a song. I answered, thinking about what inspired me and how I inspired others. As for the tribe, I'm gonna go with It Was Complicated. Yeah, I mean, our grandfather was a war criminal. That's definitely something that we found out. The tribes that are here are definitely not of my liking. They're a little too, yeah, let's go with It's Complicated. I can teach her the old ways, said the wolf mother, standing by my side, just like I taught her grandfather and her ancestors. I won't stand a great get of Fenris among us, Kim spat at the ground and bared her teeth. There's too much blood spilled between me and them. I don't speak for Fenrir, growled. The Wolf Mother. I speak of all the ancient gods of mountains and forests and love and war. Gods who came here long before Christianity, in whom I still remember. I will make the cub a servant to the Vanir. Why was I feeling like a snare was snapping on my leg? Only one thing remained to end the ceremony and make me a full-fledged Garou! I had to join a pack. Yeah, haven't I already been sworn to the Wolf Mother? Oh shit, I lost some points with Winter Weasel. Yeah. So it was done. Only one thing remained to end the ceremony and make me a full-fledged Garou. I had to join a pack. As my fate had been already tied with the Wolf Mother, I chose her as my patron and joined Olga's pack. And so it was done. According to ancient rites, Lisa painted the mystical glyph of my tribe on my sternum. I disappeared after a moment, but whenever I closed my eyes, I could feel its warm touch between my breasts. Pience of the Vanir's wrath, Galliard of the Morning Wolf Mother pack, welcome to our sept, she said solemnly. Then she howled. Yeah, I guess it makes perfect sense that furries like this game. And this is not to, like, put furries on blast or any shit like that. I joined the Vikings. I joined the Viking werewolves, guys. I'm a Viking werewolf. I'm a Viking werewolf. Viking werewolf bard. Viking werewolf bard. Well, that certainly is a thing that I did. That is certainly a thing that I did. Woo, boy, man, holy shit. People do not like the fact that I sided with that tribe. Holy shit, man. Oh, boy. Yeah, there are some people who do not like the fact that I sided with the Get of Fenris. Holy shit. Morning Wolf, loyal. Winter Weasel, cautious. Daniel, friendly. Police, super hostile, and they're looking for me. Puska, press, blah, blah, blah. Kim is now cautious. She was friendly. Not all of the Winter Weasel pack are angry at me. Honya's dead. Oh, boy. Bartek's not happy at me. I have no... Olga is loyal to me because I joined Morning Wolf pack. Wolf Mother pack. But otherwise, yeah. People did not like the fact that I joined that tribe. Holy shit, dude. Well, I guess I gotta live with that. I gotta live with that. I can live with that. Give me a minute. Yeah. For some reason, like, the game audio was, like, non-existent. All right, let's come back here. Howls rose toward the sky. They sang about ancient laws of war, status, and secrecy. I remembered only a few. Combat the worm, wherever it dwells and whenever it breeds. Submit to those of higher station. Respect those beneath you. The veil shall not be lifted. And here is yet another problem that I have with the World of Darkness is like the way that it codifies social structures. Like, we're gonna empower you, but also everything's basically like it's a feudalistic society. Always respect the people up top. And there's this like feeling of veterancy above all, which is always a weird thing, and I never like it. All right, I joined the song. I threw my head back and howled with my sept. I was a cub no more. I was ready to tell my own stories, to earn my own place in the pack, to howl my own songs. Oh, okay. Yeah, we're doing it. I think there's like only 6 chapters and an epilogue. It was one of those blistering summer days when the asphalt melts. Oh boy, God, this game doesn't know how on topic it is right now. It was one of those blistering summer days when the asphalt melts, the grass withers, and the air smothers those brave enough to step outside. Despite the heat, it felt like the whole village was at the funeral. It was moving. I stood there, surrounded by people, weeping over their loss, looking at the rosaries they clutched in their fists. Something tightened in my chest. For a brief, chilling moment, I thought I saw Anya's face among the crowd, but no, I buried her in the barrows myself. And nobody there even knew that she was dead. It was someone else's funeral. Girl, how are you still able to go to the city and not get arrested? You literally fucked up a B&B and murdered your best friend. Like, what are you, how is this possible? How did you get to the town? How are you here without getting arrested on the spot? What is happening in this game? God damn. Holy shit. Okay. Ugh. Anya was not the reason we gathered in the churchyard. The body of a hunter had been found in the forest. The circumstances of their death were unclear. There had been more deaths. Over the last few days, but they slipped under the radar. We'd been careful in covering our tracks. Or nobody had connected the dots yet. I listened to funeral hymns, and I thought that for my every battle-inspiring song, there was an old lady singing eternal rest in a trembling voice. I could feel the tension seething around me. This death, this funeral, had pushed the community, already weary and frightened by the recent disappearance of an activist in the forest, to the edge. The world was watching. The press had swarmed to the funeral like flies. I could hear them squawking about eco-terrorism and aggressive vegan activists. The police had cordoned off the funeral and were aggressively searching and detaining any activists they noticed. Suddenly, Puszka Białowieża had become politically charged and the hottest place to be in Poland. And it wasn't only local politicians and activists from both sides who'd caught wind of the commotion. The Minister of the Environment himself had driven to the town to attend the funeral. He was standing next to the priest conducting the ceremony, surrounded by police and what looked like a handful of bodyguards. The coffin went down and the crowd stirred. Everyone started lining up to throw a handful of dust on the coffin or put flowers on the grave. I found myself face to face with Bartek. I got swept by the crowd and found myself face to face with Bartek. Dude, it is not my fault that your girlfriend or assumed girlfriend got killed by werewolves. Not my fucking problem, bro. Not my fucking problem. Not my problem that you creeped her out and didn't get your dick in that. That's not my problem. Not my problem. Not my problem. There should be another coffin here because we both know that she's dead. He looked at me in the eyes. I really liked Anya, you know? I froze. It all has something to do with you, he said, and I will find out what happened. Oh, boy. I tried to play it down. I'm not wasting willpower on his sorry ass. Bartek. Who worries about Bartek? Nobody cares about Bartek. It's okay. Please take care of yourself. Don't go chasing ghosts. Bartek looked me in the eyes. Funny thing, it's like all the strange things started happening as soon as you all came here. I looked over his shoulder at the crowd. It was clear that people felt the same way that he did, and the minister knew how to use that sentiment. I listened in disbelief. I watched in disbelief as the priest handed him the mic. He wasn't someone you'd call a good speaker. He spoke furiously about how wood was important for the local economy and how evil forces from abroad were leading innocent Polish youth into temptation. Judging by the applause, it was exactly what the crowd wanted to hear. He was trying to escalate. I realized the conflict was only going to escalate. He was determined to push on with the logging. But we had public opinion on our side, and we were ready to stand our ground. We're ready to defend ourselves. Oh boy, art. The fuck even is this? Boy. Man, I really want to like this game more than I do. I really want to like this game more than I do. But I can't do it. I just can't do it. It's just not... It's not what I'm asking for. It's just not what I'm asking for. We're ready for war. I lounged in the forest of the trees, resting after a busy night. We were ready for war. Sorry, excuse me. Ugh, I warmed up. I was restless, repeating my warm-up routine over and over again. There was a fight coming. The fight was inevitable, and I wanted to be prepared. There were so many of us. People kept coming to the camp, asking questions, looking for ways to help. Students, activists, even Greenpeace with banners reading, "Stop logging, respect EU law." Hell yeah, the live streaming worked. They'd all seen our live streaming and came there to help. There was an equally big crowd against us. Local citizens, hunters, and loggers with banners reading "Foresters save trees from woodworm" and "Forestry equals job." There was a priest with a megaphone and his parishioners. Fill the earth and subdue it, their sign declared. I spotted a group of bald, muscular young men dressed in black. The White Pride in Great Poland. Variety. Drawn there by the smell of blood, Bartek was among them. The Puska didn't care for us. Compared to her, we were like mayflies. 1 second there, a second later, gone. But her fate was in our hands, and we could, second after a second, save or destroy the primordial forest. I thought about my family. For centuries, my family served the Puska, burning villages and hunting down people who dared to hurt her, and now I was the last Garou of my lineage. What legacy did I want to leave behind? I looked at the harvesters. I looked at the shiny new harvesters lurking across the clearing. Loggers milled around them like ants over a disturbed anthill. The pressure was almost palpable. The tempers were flaring. I looked at my pack. Everyone knows what to do, Olga asked, looking at my pack. I'll keep the security guards occupied, nodded Lisa, and I'll guard the Puska's perimeter, growled Daniel. I glanced at the weasels. The weasels were in their position among the protesters as agreed. That left the cops to me. Oh boy, you're just going for it. We're just going for it. We're gonna kill some cops. We are going to kill cops. Yikes. That is not to say. Black Lives Matter, trans lives matter, all of that. I will, however, say, boy, this game really just went from like a 2 out of 10 in terms of intensity to like 11 in like a record-breaking amount of time. It's why did the game beat around the bush for so long? Fuck it, why not? We should just kill them all. We are thinking too small, I growled. We are unstoppable. Why not just kill them all? Alas, that's not the plan, Olga reminded me with a bitter expression. Keep your eyes on the cops and stay put. Police were gathering in increasing numbers, and I noticed some SWAT teams joining them. Even the local hunting club was there, brandishing their rifles. Something was up. It was apparent that they were waiting for something. Then it reached a boiling point. It reached boiling point when the minister arrived for a photo op. Oh, man. What do I want to do here? What do I want to do here? I'm trying to think through this. What do I want to do here? Boy, goddamn. I think it looks fishy. I think it looks fishy. Yeah, I have a bad feeling about this. My stomach turned when I saw the black SUVs. I had a bad feeling. I felt my pulse race. Aw yeah, got full rage. Journalists swarmed around him, praising his balanced forestry policy as they steered clear of the ugly harvesters. In hindsight, you could argue that what happened next set a chain of events in motion that had life-changing consequences for many. Yeah, it all started earlier. But it all started centuries earlier when the first wolf cubs were stolen and the mourning wolf mother asked my foremothers for help. Everything that happened next, the burning villages, my grandfather escaping to America, my mother running away from my father, my return to Biowiza, was a direct consequence. The members of my sept had already moved to their positions, and I also had my part to play. No, we gotta play. She told us what our role was, so we just gotta recognize that the minister was bad news. With him at the scene, everything will get harder, I sighed, pointing at the minister. Olga nodded. We went back to regroup. The activists, humans, and werewolves alike listened as we told them what had happened. The atmosphere was tense. We started our preparations. We prepared ourselves for the worst-case scenario. Okay, let's move, I heard someone shout. Move it, people, move it. You know what to do. And they did. There was a lot of laughter and friendly pushing, chains clinking, and some people darted up the trees to seat themselves in the branches. No, we don't change. We don't change here. We do not change. I was assigned to the human chain. I helped to farm the human chain. Hey, I heard. Get those arms behind you. That's it, attaboy. It hurts, moaned a man's voice. Next time, do some yoga beforehand, huh? That's it, people. Open your hearts so you can hold your wrists behind your backs. So I locked my wrists. I threaded my arms through the arms of the people to my left and right, and then grabbed my wrist behind my back. It was tight on my shoulders, hot and very sweaty. I sat down on one long human chain and watched the loggers and police as they approached, and then stopped. I tried to take short breaths to avoid their stench. It was useless. The minister looked at us with his dark, lifeless eyes. The police were regrouping and getting into formation. Their shields were ready. They were wearing masks. I could hear the unmistakable sound of a gun being cocked. Fuck, I spat. And then the tear gas canisters started to rain down on us. The police came through the smoke like a horde of demons, kicking and beating the protesters, sat on the ground, yanking them away and breaking the human chain. I felt a hand grab my shoulder, and I acted on reflex. I bit it. I sank my teeth into the flesh, my mouth filled with blood, and the officer screamed. Oh yeah, I might have fucked this up. Okay, they're wolves, I'm wolf. Krinos, fuck it. Battle form! I spasm as my bones grow and reset. Claws break out from my fingers and fangs sprout in my mouth. I taste blood. I roar in pain as muscles move under my skin. I growl. I'm an 8-foot-tall killing machine. Yeah, I'm gonna kill the fucking loggers. Fuck them up. I see a young man in work overalls staring at me with a terrified expression, an axe raised in his hand. Well, don't mind if I do with your head, young sir. Yes, why, thank you for the delicious human head. A delicacy where I come from. I reach for his head and tear it off. The cops. The cops are running our way, shouting orders. Batons raised, faces red with anger. So we're gonna kill the cops. I smashed into them, ripped them apart one by one as their batons bounce off my skin. SWAT. A SWAT team appears in full riot gear, their faces grim behind their visitors. Their guns ready to pepper us with rubber bullets. I make them stop. I stand in front of the enemy, spread my arms, and roar. They fear me. They stop advancing. Maya, someone shouts my name. I growl and turn around to face the challenge. It's Bartek. He smells of fear. A shiver cross burns on his chest. I know what you are, he says, and his stance changes. It's always run in your family. He points a gun at me. I hit to kill. Yep, fuck you. I move before he manages to react, bite into his neck, grab his arms, and tear. Blood spurts, bone breaks, and I shake it off, and he's gone. I bask in the afterglow of the fight. I will mourn later. I look around the battlefield. It's no good. The police are pushing forward and the protesters are retreating. I must turn the tide. Yeah, let's destroy the harvesters. The fires from the Molotovs have died down, and the harvesters stand there, defaced but undamaged. The loggers and police form a cordon around the machines. They look like giant insects, but they are just machines. Insanely expensive human-made tools, but every tool has its purpose. And their purpose is to devour the forest quickly, efficiently, and without a second of thought. It's time to act. I'm fed up with overlooking it. I am Gaia's voice. And it's time to inspire some epics. I roar at the loggers. I start running. The loggers grip their axes and chainsaws. The cops raise their shields. It hurt. Blades cut my body and it hurts, but I don't stop until I reach the machines. They tower over me and their stench is overwhelming. I deliver the message. I face the loggers' leader. I reach out with my claws and, careful not to break him, caress his face. Stay away from the Puzka, I whisper, and I smell his piss. They drop their axes and run away. Suddenly, I realize that I'm bleeding and my wounds aren't healing anymore. There's pain and darkness. And I did. I did! I sacrificed myself for Mother Nature. That's how you do it. I lay there on the ground, my face buried in the grass. Blood was gushing from my wounds, and the more I tried to use my hands to stop the bleeding, the more it seemed to flow. I coughed blood. This is art. This is certainly art. I coughed bubbles of blood and air coming from my mouth. Was this it? Was this how it was all going to end? On the grass, in an ancient forest, in a place I'd never seen, among people I didn't really know? My thoughts were slow. I remembered we'd come to a conclusion, a fragile armistice that would stop the logging and save the forest. The forest was safe. For now. There was hope. There was always hope. But what had happened to the others? I believe Free wondered what happened to the others. Then I closed my eyes. Your story is almost over. This might be a good time to take the last look at your character sheet. The grass will heal all wounds. It will cover everything. I thought, no matter how high we pile the bodies, if we let her work, no one will remember the carnage. It will grow on my bones, and my body will become a mound in the forest. Okay, so I'm gonna guess some people are really pissed off that I did all this shit. Morning Wolf was loyal to me. Winter Weasel did not like that. Bartek is dead. Daniel was a friend. Kim, definitely not happy with that. Cornell, he was still friendly. Lisa. Olga fucking loved it. Olga loved that. Yep. There was a fire, there was a village, there was generation after generation, their bodies littered throughout the forest, covered with grass and ferns, the warriors who had protected the land and died for it. It was the last, and then our story would come to an end. I heard a voice. Come, child. I heard a voice and felt a warm, wet touch on my cheek. Come. Was it worth it? I rolled on my back and opened my eyes for the last time. The night sky above me was filled with a gigantic wolf made of stars. She had the moon between her eyes. A tear rolled down my cheek. She licked my face again. Come, she said, and I went. Well, sure. Well, I guess that's it. Sure. That's an image for your credits. Oh, this has lyrics. Well, yeah, I don't think that was successful. Yeah, I don't think I like that. I'll tell you why. Okay, I gotta turn this down. This is very loud. This music is very loud. I didn't like that. I did not like that. That was an interesting experiment that didn't know when to hook its plot into its players or audience. It has these weird themes of environmentalism that feel kind of disconnected with the starting plot of learning who you are, and then the part about learning about your past doesn't feel quite like the core of the game, even though it's initially presented as such, and then the whole, like, becoming a Garou feels like an afterthought. And I actually like the weird art. I think it's very funny at times and discordant and disquieting. I really like the discordant music. But in terms of conveying a sense of how Werewolf the Apocalypse, like, plays, or kind of like giving you a sense of picking your clan or learning the mechanics, it's a little bit better in some ways, but it's actually worse in other ways to, like, the Vampire the Masquerade visual novels. And generally speaking, it just wasn't as compelling an experience. That was not nearly as compelling or interesting. And like, here's the big thing. Like, we're going to just jump into it. Let's start a new game and just remind ourselves about how fucking long it takes. Like, this prologue is way too long. And the fact that you don't really understand or have any major fucking comprehension about the whole werewolf element of this story. Holy shit, dude. Like, this whole setup here and, like, exploring the town, so fucking long, man. I mean, it's an interesting game. They certainly made a visual novel that I feel like I have never played before. But hot damn, dog, if that was just not my cup of tea. And I think of the world of some of the things that they've done with Vampire the Masquerade. I even love those text novels. But yeah, that ain't it, dog. That ain't it. And I'm sorry that I feel that way. And I don't besmirch people that feel differently. But yeah, that was not it. That was not it. Anyways, I will try to stream some Grandia 2 tomorrow. I want to thank everyone who tuned in today. I realize that visual novel days are usually not the most compelling streams that I've got here. But, oh boy, I mean, God. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Sword Art Online games are on sale. The Steam sale. All the Sword Art Online games are on sale. Or I should play Sword Art Online. People were saying that I should consider playing Scarlet Nexus. That game looks fine. I'm not paying $60 for Scarlet Nexus. I'm not paying $60 for Scarlet Nexus. Alright, I'm already off topic. Alright, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. Have a great day, and hopefully the start of your weekend is just as enjoyable as I hope mine's will be. Thank you for being here. Peace!